dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm woke, everything that I see ain't what it seeming. I guess I've been dreaming. 'Cause now that I'm here, what I feel motivates me with reason. I guess I've been dreaming.
I got. Oh, and we in that thing. Peace and love to all the guys and goddesses and the high vibrating species on the planet. How we living out there, good people? What's going on? Salute and peace to you. You know what I'm talking about? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel, Academates. Peace and love to you. Y'all come on in. You know what I'm saying? Have a seat. We got another good old segment. We are still with the Exploring series. Yeah, we got another Lord Blackwood and the Neanderthal, aka the Bigfoot. You know what I'm saying? The Neanderthal. Yes, that's right. I said the Neanderthal. You know what I'm saying? Bigfoot. The guy has a wild case of hypertrichosis going on. It's like, I'm talking about a wild case. And your Bigfoot, you know what I'm saying? That's like your Chewbacca. You feel me, from Star Wars, which tells a hell of a lot of a story. Yeah. I'm not really a huge Star Wars fan like that, but I do happen to know, you know what I'm saying, a thing or two about Star Wars, and the actual story that's being told is definitely some truth in the story. I happen to know that bit. Yeah. And we got Lord Blackwood again. You feel me? Like I said, the only time I've heard the name Lord Blackwood was watching Sherlock Holmes. What was that? What's his name? Yeah, the Iron Man dude. His name. That guy. Yeah. That's Sherlock Holmes. You know what I'm saying? That's when I heard Lord Blackwood. That's when I heard that name. Of course, Academates, we do not have numerology today. But yeah, I am very, very much intrigued about the Bigfoot aspect of it. See what this Neanderthal from the cave, see what this boy, you know what I'm saying, is got to do with Lord Blackwood. That seems to be all over the dang place. This guy here. So I would say it's safe to say, even in that movie with him in it before he got the lynch, you feel me? Buddy was into some stuff. I'm just gonna say that he was into a lot before he run across Holmes and got caught up in that bit. You feel me? So yeah, we gonna get to that. 1 second. Shadow Law, come on in and get your ace in the back mouth, please. We don't want to hear you. I don't have my glasses on right now, but we don't want to hear you. We don't want to hear you. You feel? Matter of fact, I might need to I'll put these on. I will put these on. So let me repeat that. We don't want to hear you. Okay? We don't want to hear you. None of that you got going on. We don't want to hear none of it. Okay? None of it. Because we're here to get on your ace. Why? Because y'all won't leave me alone, man. Y'all keep, you know what I'm saying? Y'all did what you did. So you won't leave me alone. So we gonna keep the pressure on you. You know what I'm saying? Because like I told y'all before, you feel me? This is the academy. You know what I'm saying? You are in the face of the, what I said, you're in the face of adversity. This is the academy, not the nursery. You know what I'm saying? So welcome in. If you are new, like, share, and subscribe, because we got Shadow Law, but you know who we got. We got them in the back there. You know what I'm saying? Cutting up in class always, trying to act a ace. But we ain't worried about them. We still gonna do what we need to do. We still gonna do the job. You know what I'm saying? We ain't worried about you. You're crashing anyway. We ain't worried about you. You know what I'm saying? Even you with you know what I'm saying, behind the curtain. We ain't worried about you either. We gonna get you. Don't worry about it. We're going to get on y'all. We're going to get on y'all. You won't get away. You won't get away. You won't get away. You feel? Anyways, class, I hope y'all got what you need, because I do. And without further ado, we're going to get to what it is that we do right about this time. You know what I'm saying? We live in the city, and we finna go on and get it. Bustin'.
Lord Blackwood and the Bigfoot. Lord Blackwood,
Let's see.
the most notable explorer, naturalist, and big game hunter in the SCP universe, has been to many exotic locales throughout his life.
I see.
In tales previously featured, he hunted a great rampage
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Rampaging lizard in France, and explored a desolate alternate reality. This time, though, Blackwood heads for the American frontier to hunt down a mythical creature, Bigfoot. Bigfoot is a well-known SCP, SCP-1000, but knowledge of that SCP isn't really required.
SCP-1000, huh? I guess I'm about to make a special trip to 1000. You got it coming. You got it coming. I'm about to get on that. I'm about to get Academates. It's coming. We about to get on that. Oh yeah, for sure. Since you won't play.
For this tale.
Since y'all won't play.
Instead, I'll give a bit of info on another anomaly, SCP-1845.
It's like, look here. I'm gonna say it like this. Since they don't want to cover it, I'm gonna cover it. Since they don't want to talk about it, I'm gonna talk about it. Okay? So y'all just stay tuned. Stay tuned for the for SCP-1000, the Neanderthal. I'm gonna tell you all about him. So just stay tuned, shall we?
1845 is a collection of animals possessing near-human intelligence, capable of constructing simple tools, with a system of government modeled on medieval European feudalism. This animal group is led by a red fox, who considers itself to be of royal heritage, coming from a long line of royal foxes. This fox is the only animal in the group capable of communicating via a keyboard, and it identifies itself and its followers as extremely pious Roman Catholics. With that seemingly random explanation out of the way, let's begin.
Random.
July 3rd, 1857. It has been the better part of a year since I set sail from England. I feel myself overcome with a certain melancholy every time I watch the white cliffs of Dover disappear over the horizon, seemingly watching me as I venture out into the wilderness. But whatever guilt I might feel, there is much work to be done. The vast, untamed wilds of the world wait for no man, and it is our duty as Englishmen to carry the light of civilization to the corners of creation. Today I have alighted in the Oregon Territory, in a newly founded town on the shores of Puget Sound that the pioneers call Seattle. Even now, in the height of summer, it is a cold and dreary place. Clouds meander across the heavens, bringing showers and fog, as cool winds blow across the water.
Yeah, it'd be like that in Seattle.
And on all sides, the tiny town is surrounded by the massive evergreens that populate this country.
Shout out to Seattle.
In many ways, it is not unlike the climate of my boyhood home in the West Country, and I felt an odd sense of nostalgia as the summer rains wet my cheek. But it is not the town, nor the weather that interest me. It is the forests that hold my true reason for venturing to this virgin frontier. In the town, I have hired porters and 2 guides, a white man and a civilized Indian. I spent many hours in conversation with the noble Redskin, which confirmed the legends I had heard repeated third hand in the Gentlemen's Club back on Broad Street. In the unexplored woods east of the Sound, so the Indians said, there lived a race of primates unknown to science, half again as tall as a man, covered head to toe in thick fur, quick and nimble, and possessing of an almost man-like cleverness. Sasquatch, my guide called the creatures, but they had been called by many names by the tribes he knew of. Semiqui, Momo, Quickie, Skookum, and Bigfoot among them. Even among the Indians, they were mostly regarded as little more than legend, but my guide informed me that he had seen one in the flesh 2 years prior, in the foothills of the mountain his people called Tahoma, and that he had heard tales of a tribe that worshipped them as gods. Tomorrow we set out for Tahoma, for it is...
Boy, stop. They far from it.
This Bigfoot that I seek now is my quarry. I mean to find one of the elusive beasts and bring it back to England. Dead if I must, alive if I can.
No.
I brought ample equipment from England and purchased fresh victuals from the shops of this town. Tonight I plan, and I pray that my hunt will not fail. July 7th, 1857. The forests of the territory make for slow going. In my adventures I have hacked through jungle reeds, forced my way through the tall grasses of the Serengeti, braved the unforgiving cold of the Himalayas, and baked under the cruel Egyptian sun. But what hand or blade can cast aside the trunks of the ancient evergreens that stand by the myriads in every direction? The guides assure me we are making steady progress, though it seems we have gone scarcely 24 miles since we left Seattle. I caught my first glimpse of Tahoma today as we entered a clearing upon a hill, and I was overwhelmed by the beauty of that tableau that I observed. Tahoma is not nearly the height of the famous Peak 15 that Sir Waugh described last year in Nepal, but unlike the great Himalayas, it stands alone, a solitary peak towering above the forests of the territory, like a proud and mighty king surveying a kingdom encompassing all that it perceives. Shortly after midday, we chanced upon a fox cub, scarcely old enough to hunt for itself, imprisoned in a cage of wood and hides. My Indian guide pointed out a clever set of machinations connected to the box, and informed me it was a trap laid by the Indians who lived in those woods, and that the unfortunate rascal had been lured in by a scrap of meat to be captured. He said to me that his people were most efficient. The beast's hide would make clothing, its teeth jewelry, its meat food for the children, its sinew cords and rope. Let there be no doubt, any who may chance to read this, that I with glee engaged in many a fox hunt in the county pastures in my younger days. But to ride out with one's hounds is a gentleman's game. In this, my friend, there was no sport. I looked into the creature's eyes, and it seemed to regard me almost as a starving beggar child might regard a man of wealth, envious and jealous, but at the same time supplicant, as if to beg me for mercy. I drew my knife and cut the cords holding the cage door shut, and the vulpine burst free and darted into the woods, fetching a brief glance at me as it ran away. July 8th, 1857. This morning we encountered a half-dozen Indians in a hunting party near the banks of a river. I had thought at first to call it the Blackwood River when we forded it, though my guide informed me it was known to his people as Nisqually. The Indians regarded us at first with suspicion. I know not if they had seen a white man before, and I feared the worst. But my Indian called out to them in a language strange to me, and they responded gleefully in the same. I learned that he was of the same tribe as they, and that he called their leader his cousin, and they received us warmly. We luncheoned on salmon the Indians had caught in the river, and traded with them for food and supplies. I was most excited to hear from one of the younger redskins that he had seen a Bigfoot once when he was young, for the porters believed this expedition to be a fool's errand, and with this revelation they seemed most renewed in their vigors. By the time we parted ways, I had managed to learn a few words of their language. After I have brought a Bigfoot back to England, I shall have to return to this land and learn more of the ways of these people. July 13th, 1857. I must write in haste, for my captors have not discovered this book. I am in darkness, alone, my feet bound, in a tent in a place I do not know, well guarded without by my captors. They came upon us 2 nights ago. We had encamped for the night in a clearing not a dozen miles from the place my Indian told me he had seen the Bigfoot.
Hold on. Hold on. Hold on, man. Lord Blackwood. Excuse me. Hold on. Now this is Academy. Now this is just some side research that I've been doing. on another note, having nothing to do with SCPs, but I'm glad. Yeah. He's in Seattle, Washington, 1850, whenever he said. And he just said Indian. He just said Indian. Huh? You feel me? And that's what they trying to hide over here in America. That my people, are the Indian. They trying to hide that. That's us. They trying to hide it. They trying to hide it from everybody. They basically fooled the world and made everybody not. You know what I'm saying? And that's just the truth. So, a lot of stuff been going on this soil just to hide that one fact. That you stole some land. The entire country, you stole it. You know what I'm saying? But you had help, and we know about them too. Back there. That's why I say all skin folk ain't kinfolk, and we know about that too. You feel me? But anyways, I'm just saying, I apologize. Academy said, yeah, that was just a side note. I'm just like, it hit me when he said that date. Like, whoa, wait a minute. He said India. Hold up. Yes, sir. And that's the point, that's the exact point that we've been trying to prove.
2 years hence. They must have been lurking in the darkness for hours, and came upon the chief porter unawares while he stood the night watch.
Gotcha!
I could reach my rifle. All but one of the porters and my Indian guide had been felled by the brute's arrows and hatchets. I took 2 of the bastards in reply with my rifle, and 4 more with my pistol, before one of them grabbed me.
I already about know what you're gonna do this video. You gonna ban this one hard, huh?
I had been tied to a pole, and 2 of the savages were carrying me deeper into the woods. I could see my Indian and the last surviving porter being carried similarly. I called out to my Indian, and he told me that he recognized our captors as a tribe that had been ancient enemies of his own. They were unrepentant pagans and cannibals, he told me, and worshipped a strange god that lived in the mountain.
Y'all better leave my people alone.
It was said they raided the villages of the other tribes for sacrifices to offer to their god. Surely, he said, we had been chosen to fulfill this onerous duty. It is very cold here, though the sun shines brightly through the trees at midday. I know not whether the savages have my weapons or not. I pray that they do, for if I cannot reach them, I will surely perish in this wilderness. July 16th, 1857. Words cannot express the terror I have beheld this day. The savages have brought us to their home camp in the foothills. Even now, in the midst of summer, clumps of snow congregate under the rocks and at the bases of the trees. At midday, the 3 of us were escorted to a snowy clearing by the edge of a vast wood climbing up the mountain. Hundreds of savages formed a half circle around the clearing, and our porter was loosed from his bonds and dragged to the center. One of the savages began beating upon a massive drum and singing in a bizarre language, the likes of which I have never heard. Others joined in, and the forests were filled with the din of 1,000 screaming savages. Suddenly, the trees at the edge of the clearing seemed to rustle and part way, and the throng silenced as it emerged. Bigfoot, in the flesh. The tales had not done the beast justice. It stood 15 feet if it stood an inch, and it could not have weighed less than half a long ton. I could scarcely discern its countenance beneath the matted fur that covered its face. Ravenous, primal, caked in blood and spittle. It bore the scars of many struggles, and, praying that the reader will forgive my lack of modesty, displayed its manhood proudly. It set its eyes on the porter and charged at him with a speed I would not have expected from a brute of its size. The porter made to run, but the savages closed in upon him and allowed him no egress. Within seconds, the beast was upon him. I could hardly bear to look as it ripped him limb from limb, its yellowed, sharpened teeth tearing into his flesh, his blood running down its jaws as it greedily feasted upon him. The savages returned me to the tent afterward. I fear I am next. July 19th, 1857. I hope by now, should anyone be reading this years hence, that you regard me as an honest man. Throughout my many years exploring the unknown corners of the world, I have considered it my obligation to tell no less than the whole truth regarding my discoveries, that my fellow countrymen might know of the world that lies beyond the borders of our great empire, and prepare for the day when the light of goodliness and peace shines around
We're trying
the
to
world.
know. But they asked.
I say this now, for the events I must now recount might seem a fantasy to you, dear reader. Indeed, I would find it difficult to believe myself, had I not seen it with my own eyes.
Not to me, sir.
But
I
on my
know
sacred
it's
honor
out
as an
there.
Englishman, I assure you that every word of it is true. On the afternoon of the 17th, the savages offered my Indian guide as a sacrifice to Bigfoot as they had my porter. Yesterday, the 18th, they prepared to do the same to me. I spent the morning in solemn prayer and reflection, and for the first time in my life, I understood the sorrow of a condemned man awaiting the hangman's noose. I felt I had lived a good life, and I was prepared to do what any good Englishman would, and meet my Maker with a stiff upper lip and a clean conscience. The Indians led me to the clearing and loosed my bonds. I strode calmly into the center of the clearing and closed my eyes. If I was to die, I intended to die with my dignity intact. The drumming and the screaming started, and I heard the trees rustle as Bigfoot drew near to claim his meal. But it was not Bigfoot's approach that silenced the savages. Rather, I heard, distant yet remarkably near, the howl of a fox. Muffled chatter arose from the throng as a second howl answered the first. Soon a third animal was howling, and before long the woods were alive with a cacophony. Not only foxes, but I heard the howls of wolves, the screeching of hawks and falcons, the roar of the mountain cats, even the calls of pigeons. I opened my eyes as 100 animals or more emerged from the woods and set upon the Indians. I beheld foxes and wolves, elk and deer, gulls and eagles, bears and raccoons, side by side like a cavalry charge as they knocked the wild men to the ground and tore out their throats. Every one of the creatures ran right past me, barely darting their eyes my way as I beheld the sight.
When we was connected with nature, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's why I try to get back out there, good people. You feel me? I try to get back out in nature, you know what I'm saying, and do my DZ out there, you feel me, and get back one with the earth, and connect and reconnect, you know what I'm saying, and that's a lot how I got back on, you know what I'm saying, on the path, man, for real, to be able to see certain things and to deal, but for the most part, to be able to deal with it, shit, because it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, but it gets crazy once you start seeing it. But it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's all over the planet. You know what I mean? And you know what I'm saying? It's the disconnect that has everything just thrown out of whack right now, and it's the universe is requiring. You know what I'm saying? It's a requirement to get to get things back balanced. You know what I'm saying? So that's why that's like we're sitting on the 8 right now. You know what I'm saying? It's dharma karma. You know what I'm saying? It's the spiritual aspects of this thing, and all that connection right there with all those animals, with us over here in this land. You know what I'm saying? Yes, it was it was dope. If you know what I'm saying, for lack of better terms, you know what I'm saying? It was dope, bro. Like the connection with all the animals. You know what I'm saying? The birds are like everything. A full connection, because we had this understanding of life and the cycle and how things are supposed to move, and how and then that keeps the vibration right. You know what I'm saying? For the planet, for everything, for every living species on the planet, for that matter. You know what I'm saying? It keeps all the energies right. It's just balanced. You know what I'm saying? Things are supposed to be the way it is when it's dealing with nature. But when she's thrown out of order, what do you expect? You get all these anomalies going on. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff that's going on, and it's been all the tampering. You feel me? So yeah, I just figured I'd just throw that out there, you know what I'm saying? Because, yeah, we definitely had a deep connection with the animals to go to war with us when it was time to go. We went, and everybody was in it, and everybody went.
Some even seemed to have markings on their brows, like the war paint the Indians themselves were decorated with. I chose to take advantage of the opportunity and ran. Neither man nor beast made any attempt to stop me as I made for the west, away from Tahoma and Bigfoot, towards the sea.
Those mutual respects. Even when it came down to like them having to kill the fox, you know what I'm saying? Like and use every bit of that fox. That yes, you know what I'm saying? Every aspect of the animal, of that, the spirit of that animal we utilized. You know what I'm saying? It's more like a sacrifice. You know what I'm saying? So, or sometimes the animal would lay down for us because, you know what I'm saying, they wanted to connect with a certain energy, with a certain Indian, you know what I'm saying, with one of us, whoever, when the hunt was out, sometimes the animal would actually choose who they wanted to lay down with. You know what I'm saying? So,
sign of civilization.
Yeah.
By nightfall, I had easily put 10 miles between myself and the camp. But alone, hungry, bruised, and exhausted,
it wasn't just about food and just eating, or just like he said, for sport. It wasn't.
To sleep.
No.
When I awoke this morning, I found myself surrounded by wild beasts. Half a dozen deer stood in a semicircle before me, paint on their faces, their horns and coats covered with savage blood, and 2 raccoons in their center. I panicked when first I saw them, and instinctively tried to reach for my gun, for fear that they had come to finish me off. They stepped back in unison when they saw me startle, and I saw that one of the deer, upon its back, was carrying a large bundle. My own possessions, scavenged from the remains of my camp. The creature knelt to the ground and shrugged, letting it fall to the ground, and I eagerly examined it. Much of what I had brought into the woods was gone, but my rifle was intact, and my pistol, and a tent, and alcohol with which to clean my cuts and scrapes, and enough dried rations to last 2 weeks' time. I barely had time to ponder this miracle before the rest of the animals fell to their knees as well, and opened a path between them. A fox approached me, old, weathered, bearing signs of having seen more winters than most of its kind do. It bore an air of dignity about it that one rarely sees from such creatures as it approached me and stood before me. It seemed to examine me carefully, contemplating as it looked me over, before it uttered a low bark, and one of the raccoons approached me. I noticed now something I had overlooked before. The raccoon had, tied to its back with a thin piece of twine, a rolled piece of paper. The fox gestured at the paper with its nose, and I reached down and drew the paper free. I unrolled it and found a handwritten message in English, which I present to you below. We, Alaric V, by the grace of God, King of all the forest, Lord of the plains, Duke of the grand fir and the undergrowth, Count of the swamp, Margrave of the nameless mountain, Warden of all the streams and rivers, and Lord Protector of the tribes of man, Defender of the faith, recognizing you as a fellow Christian and a civilized man, grateful for your rescue of our royal issue from the devious machinations of the pagan savages, thankful that your kind have returned to this land, hopeful that you will on our behalf deliver news to your homeland that Christendom shall have in these parts a steadfast ally, acknowledging that in rescuing you from the false god of the pagans, we are responsible for your welfare and safe passage in our lands. Do hereby on this day, the 19th day of the 7th month, in the year of our Lord, 1857, bestow upon you the rank of Knight Commander of the Order of the Thistle, with all the privileges and responsibilities of that office. Command you to, from this day forward, act as a loyal servant of Christ and his Church, Catholic and Apostolic, for as long as you shall live, and charge you to return to the lands of Christendom bearing news of our kingdom, and to return with an embassy for the negotiation of amicable communion between our nations. To this document we affix our seal, sacred and royal. The paper had been signed, so to say, with an ink stamp of what I assumed to have been the fox's paw print. I looked down at the creature, who I now saw regarded me with a gaze almost human in its wisdom. It raised its right paw to touch its forehead and lowered it to its chest and shoulders, making the sign of the cross. I repeated the gesture and it nodded to me. Having apparently reached an agreement, the fox that called itself Alaric V turned and strode away into the woods, its motley retinue following behind. September 7th, 1857. It has been over a month since I made my escape from the forest and entered my convalescence here in Seattle. I wandered 5 days in the woods, and might be wandering still, if not for that by chance I found the same friendly tribe of Indians I had met on the banks of the Nisqually 2 weeks before. With what bits of their language I knew, I tried to tell them of our encounters with the savages, the Bigfoot, and the strange group of animals that had been my salvation. I know not if they understood me, or if they merely thought me mad, but a small group of them traveled north with me and led me back to town, where I have rested and healed my wounds since. It is too late in the year to attempt another expedition in search of the Bigfoot. I am told that the winter in these parts is long and cold, and that it will be April before another expedition to the foothills is advisable. In any event, I have little money left with which to hire anyone. I have sent a letter south to San Francisco to be telegraphed to the Royal Society in London, containing an account of my findings and a request for financing to launch a proper expedition into this wilderness, whether to capture a Bigfoot or to establish an embassy with the strange nation of the Fox King Alaric. Barring disaster, I expect a reply by Christmas. I do not hold much hope that they will assent to such a proposition. After all, I am the only witness to these fantastical events, and the only evidence, the declaration of knighthood granted me by the Fox, will not be in London for several years or more. Perhaps I shall leave this territory entirely when the next ship arrives in May, and set out for other parts unknown. I heard before I left London that the White Rajah in Borneo had acquired a strange machine that fell from the sky. Who knows what other wonders might lurk in the Javanese jungles, waiting to be shown the light of day by one such as myself.
Yeah, see, Academates, that's the vision. I hope y'all like that junk, because I like that junk. You know what I'm saying? The Blackwood gets out there. He gets in the mix of things. You know what I'm saying? And he brings some stuff out for us to go through. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? I dig the Blackwood. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. Cause I definitely learned something right there with that story. Huh. You know what I mean? Yeah. I hope y'all got something out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because other than them doing a little tweaking to the story a little bit, they did a little tweaky. Tweak it. You know what I'm saying? It's all good. I caught that though. I caught the little tweaky dead to it, but it's cool. It's cool. I caught what I need to catch though. You know what I'm saying? Because that's, like I said, I don't do coincidence. You know, I can't speak for any other academic or anybody else that wants to come across this video. I can speak for you, but I can definitely speak for myself. Me, myself, and I, we don't do coincidence. You know what I'm saying? The irony, you know, it creases out the picture for us, so we can just see what we're working with. That's about it. You know what I'm saying? And that kind of got, yeah. The Lord Blackwood be going in. You know what I'm saying? So that's crazy, bro. That's crazy. Like the dates, and where he was, and what he was tackling with, and yeah, this Bigfoot thing. Yeah, yeah, we gonna get around to that, and you know what I'm saying? That what he said, 1,000, SCP-1000. Yeah, we gonna get on the Neanderthal real quick, like, you know what I'm saying? And see what they actually have to say about this thing. See what they learn about. Because I know they going to be learning about something in this one. I already know. You know what I'm saying? Because if you knew what I knew about that character right there, this world would be something different already. Because it'd be like, what? Yeah. It's like, for real? Yeah. It's like, dang. Hold on. Wait a minute. It's like, yeah. Think about it. You feel me? So we gonna get to that. You know what I mean? And hey, shout out, it is what it is, bro. You feel me? Y'all, like I said, y'all shouldn't lie. You know what I'm saying? Y'all be lying like a lawyer. You know what I'm talking about? Y'all be lying like a lawyer. You feel me? And just like the SCP Foundation, y'all, you know what I mean? Y'all got so much stuff to hide. This, man, when all this stuff comes out, man, it's going to be wowzers. Like wowzers, bruh, for real. So we just trying to soften the blow a little bit. You know what I'm saying? That's another reason why we're here, is to kind of soften the blow a little bit, because everybody finna get, oh God, you know what I'm saying? Everybody gonna catch that. Everybody gonna catch a piece of it. It's gonna be on different spectrums, different levels, different aspects, different angles, different perspectives. It's gonna hit though. It's gonna hit. And that's the point. It's going to hit. So we're trying to soften the blow. We're just trying to soften the blow a little bit. Because they ain't trying to soften nothing. It's just going to spill. And they going to be like, yo, man, don't blame us. It's not our fault. And we're going to be like, but stop. But stop. They had to use somebody. Why did it have to be you? Oh! Alright, so y'all keep y'all head on that swivel out there, you know what I'm saying? Y'all keep yourself spiritually, mentally, physically, and emotionally protected. All of you. You feel me? All of you. Keep yourself spiritually, physically, mentally, and emotionally protected. Please protect your emotions. Guard them with your all. Please. It's important. You know what I'm saying? And continue to vibe. It's imperative. And that goes for any and every, regardless of your status, regardless of your species, regardless of any of that. It's up here. That's why I say it. You know what I'm saying? I don't say anything else but gods, goddesses, and all the high vibrating species. The high vibrating species on the planet. Because the planet gonna do this, and that's what she about to do. You better do it with her, or you gonna... That's the truth, okay? But a lot of things will have to come out, and it's coming out. Y'all pay attention. You might not catch it all, but when you catch something, don't just put it away. You know what I'm saying? Do a little due diligence. Do a little research on that, though. You know what I'm saying? Check into that. It may actually be what they saying it is, or it may actually not have nothing to do with what they said it was, but it actually has something to do with something else. So the more that you know about a little bit of a lot of this stuff, you know what I'm saying, a lot of it, you know what I'm saying, the better off you'll be. So if I was you, I wouldn't take it all for face value. I wouldn't take it all for a grain of salt, but at the same time, I wouldn't just cast it away like it was nothing because you haven't seen or anything like that with your own too. You know what I mean? Because things are happening, it just may not be happening around you. Okay, you know what I'm saying? And that has everything. I ain't gonna necessarily say everything, but it may have something to do with vibration as well, especially if you're looking to see something extravagant, you know what I'm saying, but you're a vibrating person, you know what I'm saying, you're a low vibratory ass person, you feel me? Ain't nothing extravagant you're gonna see for real, you know what I'm saying? You'll see it on online, but you won't see it in person like most of us do. We be seeing stuff right here with the nakeds, like, they just, I couldn't even get it recorded. Good God, what was that? You feel me? That's what we be on. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and that's all the vibration, and we're really seeking it, and we're seeking the truth. You know what I'm saying? We're truth seekers, but we're seeking with genuine. You know what I'm saying? Genuosity. It's like we're being genuine about it. Like we're not seeking for any clout. We're not seeking for any type of monetary gain. We're not seeking for any of that. We're seeking for the truth of the matter. You know what I'm saying? Like what is that? Where did it come from? Why is all this stuff happening? And why ain't nobody really talking about it that's supposed to be talking about it? The people that's supposed to be talking about it, why aren't they talking about it? Like, what's the big secret? And therefore things have been coming out because they have decided to start showing us, because they knew that you wouldn't. I mean, so many deadlines that you just, you know what I'm saying? So it's about that time. So you feel me? It is what it is. Don't be mad at me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just another that's here to do what we came to do. Okay? You know what time it is, and you know what we came to do. You summon me, all right? That's all it is. You summoned me. So peace and love to all the guys and goddesses and all the high vibrating species on the planet. And